Welcome back to Life of Law Ride. I just want to give you a update on the tiny camper. So from this angle, not much has changed. I don't know if we showed the other door cut in or not, but it is cut in. Let's look inside. Hopefully you can see. We have the front wall in. We got wires coming through. And we have the ceiling somewhat started. We got the sidewalls all in and fastened on both sides. Hopefully you can see that. It's dark in there. And more importantly, after that, we got the roof on. So the exterior of the roof is all on and in place. So this reach I can't see, but I got the camera up there, so hopefully you can see that. Like a few more things I'm going to do to it, like I'm going to support the seam and things like that. And I'm going to be sanding all these edges down so they're nice and smooth. You won't even see them once it's all painted. But we're getting there. I did do some research on tongue length, and I'm going to be extending that eventually. So that's in the works, and this whole device will be moved up further, so it's not a problem. So we're going to work on that at some point. And also right now I'm working on, in between doing some sanding, I've been cutting out the holes. I'll show you that on the other side for the lights. And maybe I'll pop one in, but yeah, so lights here, and one up here. These would be like running lights. Let me pop one in. I can just show you here too. So we got the box of them right here to be these oblong oval type ones. There's 4 of those for the brake lights, and a bunch of these, and amber one for the front one here. So this amber one would go right in here like so, and they're a nice snug fit once it's all pressed all the way in and everything's painted. Then you can see how this rubber is pressing up against the plywood, and that's going to create your seal. So those will be all mounted in all the way around as well, and those are LED, and the wires will all be underneath. And so yeah, I can't even push it out easily now. I need 2 hands to do it, but that's going to work out good. The reason why I want to cut the holes ahead of time is when I paint it, I'm actually painting this surface as well in here, so it seals that as well, because we're going to seal underneath the camper too. But I wanted to make sure I didn't want to paint everything, cut this out and put the thing in, because if water did get in there, that's exposed wood. So we'll get that all painted at the same time. And I haven't done much more inside other than the walls and stuff put in place. I have the insulation for here, but I want to put that support member first where the seam is. So we're going to do that. I did put a lot of time into this. Let me just go around the other side here. I can see a little bit more light over here. So I spent a lot of time with some sample pieces to get this angle right. I just took a couple small pieces and got that angle correct. I did this first. The length I didn't care. It was a 4-foot wide piece, so wherever it landed, it landed. And then this side I left long, and then I got the angle I wanted to cut here. And I'm just going to sand off. I went a little long, something slightly out of square, because the other side is nice and flush, but I wanted to go long enough, and I can just sand this off to bring it down. And you'll never even know it once it's all done. But that's where we're at so far. I do have new bearings for the wheels. I don't know if I showed that. I saw a video. Hold on a minute. So I saw a video on a guy that took a trip cross country. It was a YouTube video and about camping and stuff. Might have been a tiny camper. I don't know if it was homemade or not. It was an older thing or whatever. And I, in the back of my mind, was thinking about the axles on this to make sure it was all good, because it's been a long time since it's been on the road. And that video, the guy was saying that his bearing burnt up and broke off his spindle here. This hose out of the way. And his whole wheel came off. I mean, just literally sheared right off and broke. And I'm like, oh man, I definitely got to take a look to make sure those bearings are okay. So I pulled this all apart. And again, as you guys can see, I talked about this in one of the first videos. This is, you know, an old brake cylinder here. This, all the parts are missing. Some other leftover parts in here, because this was the front end of a vehicle from, I believe, the 50s. So if anybody recognizes what this came off of, I would appreciate it. I will tell you that it's old enough that the bolts on this side, which I knew for the tire, are left-handed threads. And of course on the other side, they're right-handed threads. So like today's vehicles, they're all the same, all four wheels. But on the older ones, they went the opposite way on the opposite side. And this is the case with this. These are opposite. So if I ever were to have somebody work on this, I got to make sure they know that don't turn these to loosen them off in the normal counterclockwise direction, because you're just going to snap the bolt off. That will be tightening up this particular side. But so yeah, this came off the front of a vehicle, but I wanted to pull it all apart and make sure the bearings are okay. Right here, they seem okay, but they were Timken bearings, and they may have been replaced somewhere along the line. I have no idea if they were or not, but I know Timken still makes bearings today. I got the numbers off them, and lo and behold, I was able to get brand new sets of Timken bearings for both sides. Now, I had some bearing grease that I was going to use, and then I got thinking after that video, you know, the grease I have, I use it for like lug nuts and this and that here and there, but for bearings, I wanted to make sure it was really good, really clean. So I went and spent a little bit, it was like 12 bucks or something for a can of Timken bearing grease as well. So I'll put a link in this description, but I mean, again, you have to match up your own numbers for your particular circumstances, and it may not even be a camper. This could be the front of a vehicle, but I decided to go with all new bearings all the way around. I don't even know what the other side's like yet. I haven't taken it off. Doesn't matter. They're going to get all new bearings ahead of time. And I'll show you the hubcap on this again too, and it might help you determine what vehicle this might have come off of. This is the original hubcap, so it's an older one. And these are going to go back on too. I want to keep these. I think they look kind of nice. I'm going to cover up most of the old rusty wheel, which I'll clean up and paint as well. But yeah, that's what they look like right there. So anyway, that's where we're at. I mean, I'm happy that the roof is on. I mean, the structure now, the main structure is built. Now it's just a matter of getting the two entry doors built, table built, and the truck box door built. I'm not calling it a galley because someone pointed out in a video, and this doesn't matter, I just think it's interesting, that a galley is the definition of a kitchen on a boat. And when you're camping and you make those truck boxes for your camp kitchens, so really this is more of a truck box than it is a galley. But anyways, what do I know? I just thought it was kind of an interesting video. So this, I got to make the hatch door for this as well. So that's where we're at so far. And I do have the pole here too for the table I was talking about. Now that you'll be seeing that in an upcoming video. That will be what will be dropped down in this hole here and attach the table to when we want to have a table. So that's where we're at for the moment. Hopefully you like it. You like what you're seeing so far. I mean, it's still winter time, so I've been out plowing and dealing with the cold weather. But we're, what is it? This is actually the beginning of March now. We just had a little bit of snow last night and 3 or 4 inches the night before, but should be pretty much wrapping up here pretty soon. So that's where we're at. Get this thing built. We have a good sized trip planned in June, I believe, for this, sometime in June. So it's got to be closed in and ready by then. All right, well, thanks for swinging by Life the Wild Ride. I hope you like this video. Come back often for more videos. I guess they're not too often, but I appreciate you sticking around and kind of watching what we're doing. Have a great day, and remember, life is a wild ride.